Welcome back to the Sideline Sorcerers. I am really psyched, you guys, because the Bills pulled off a wild victory here against the Ravens. Definitely was not in the way we saw it coming. I mean, Mark Andrews dropping that ball easily could have sent the game into overtime if he caught it, but thank
hmm
God he did not. When we're seeing a crazy rematch of the last couple of years of playoffs here, Buffalo heading into Kansas City. It's definitely going to make for a good game. I'm just hoping that history does not repeat itself.
Yeah, no, I mean, crazy games. I thought all the games this weekend were pretty good, especially compared to the wild card
Yeah.
weekend. But yeah, I mean, here we are again, the same matchup. I know last year was in the divisional, it wasn't the conference championship, but I think we can all agree that this is the rivalry we all love to see year in, year
Mhm.
out. They play each other every year because they always win their divisions and then they play
Yep.
each other again in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens here. I think we're both going to be rooting heavily for Buffalo, not only because we like the team, but also we just want
Mhm.
to see someone else in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's exactly the case. I feel like a lot of the nation outside of the Swifties will be rooting for Buffalo as well, because who else wants to see the Chiefs going into the Super Bowl again? It gets old. It doesn't make for entertaining TV.
Yeah.
Everyone wants it for the Bills.
And I really do think that they would beat whoever comes out of this Eagles Commanders game. I don't
Yeah.
think that either of those teams is as good as, the top three teams from the AFC. Like I think
Hmm.
the Ravens would have beaten both the Eagles and the Commanders. I
Yeah.
mean, in the regular season they played, Eagles beat the Ravens. I think the Ravens would have gone back. So it just speaks to the strength of the AFC. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think really whoever comes out of this game, it's kind of similar. I think a lot of people thought of Ohio State and Texas as like the national championship in quotes.
Hmm.
Two teams believed to have been better than Notre Dame and Penn State. Whether that's true or not, but I do think here it applies. I think Buffalo and Kansas City are better than Philadelphia and Washington.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, and same with the Baltimore statement as well. I mean, I would have rather seen a team like that in the Super Bowl than either Washington or Philadelphia. I mean, I might still be biased by, previous years, but Washington just doesn't feel like a playoff caliber, or I guess a Super Bowl caliber team, or even, an NFC championship type of team to me. I mean, I know that, they had a very good year, 12-5. Like their record shows that they, have kind of earned their place here, but it just still feels a little finicky to me. Like they just don't, it seems a little out of place.
I mean, it certainly does. I think Washington's had, a crazy championship drought. They haven't been in this position in like 2 decades.
Yeah.
But with Jaden Daniels, I think we're going to have to get used to them being in this conversation every
Hmm.
year. I mean, I really do think he's that transformative of a player, and what he's doing is absolutely incredible. And as a Bears fan, it's making me feel really, really sad.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like he was the better pick than Caleb here because Caleb can
Yeah.
only get 4 wins in a season, which is just
I mean, I do think if they were
atrocious.
flipped, I think mostly things would have played out relatively the same. I really do think
Yeah.
the Commanders would still made the playoffs. The Bears would have only won a couple games, and the course of the season would have played out very similarly for both teams.
Hmm.
It's just really all about situation and the players around you. But Washington certainly has a better offensive line, certainly has a better defense at this point. So yeah. Hopefully, with Ben Johnson, who just got announced as the new Bears head coach, we can be taken in a new direction.
Yeah, no, that would be lovely if that happened. I mean, there was so much off-season hype around the Bears. So many
Yeah,
fans saying like this was going to be the best season yet. Made so many off-season acquisitions with Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, and all these other guys that we just kind of thought were going to be playmakers for the team, and they just kind of fizzled out. It didn't really turn into anything exciting, and that was really tough for the Bears and all the fans this year to realize as well.
for sure. But getting back on track here, let's get into our conference championship picks and predictions. Obviously last week, we'll recap it kind of as we go through these games here. Betting wise, it wasn't great. A lot of just surprising. I think, Detroit losing was a big surprise. I think, the over just slamming in that game is also, crazy. I mean, it was almost hit in the first half, but
Yeah.
let's really focus on here and dig in deep with these championship games here. Washington at Philadelphia, the afternoon game on Sunday. I am going to take the Eagles here. I don't feel great about this pick. I would not be surprised if Washington won this game at all. I mean, as division rivals, you really
Yeah.
cannot predict these games, even just in a random, meaningless game
Right.
at the end of the season. Like usually these games between the Commanders and the Eagles have been over the last couple seasons.
Hmm.
The Commanders have kept it competitive, even
Yeah.
without Jay and Daniels, and they've won a couple sneaky games that they shouldn't have. So
Hmm.
who's to say that they wouldn't, be able to pull this off? And it is only a 5.5 point game. I just think that as a rookie quarterback, you're going to see a turnover from Jaden Daniels here. He's been so clean, so effective, so accurate that he is so due for a turnover. It's just the law of averages, as I always like to come back to. Now, Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, has not been playing well. I think we can all agree that even at Jaden Daniels' rookie
Hmm.
year here, he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, who has just not been pushing the ball down the field, not getting the ball to AJ Brown, although he had a drop in the game against the Rams. And, we were talking about this before we started recording. The Rams had the chance. They were 19 yards away from scoring a touchdown, kicking an extra point, winning this game. Eagles missed two extra points throughout the game. They incurred a safety. And even with the Rams fumbling twice, I believe both were in the second half, even, they had a
Hmm.
chance to win this game just with an
Yep.
extra point. It's absolutely insane to me. And yet, I'm going to stand here and take them again just with the playoff experience. Their roster is tremendously better. I mean, tremendously better. The defense, running back, receiver. I mean, I think Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown, very comparable, but almost at every other position besides quarterback, you're taking the Eagles. You're taking the younger Dallas
Yeah.
Goedert over Zach Ertz. I mean, that's why Zach Ertz is not on the Eagles anymore because he
Hmm.
got old, and while he could still make some plays, Dallas Goedert's better. So,
Plus, you've got Saquon, who's just an
I mean,
absolute game
Saquon's really,
changer,
yeah,
and
absolutely,
Washington doesn't have that X factor.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Well, in any case, I agree with what you were saying in the beginning for sure. Talking about how they're division rivals. We've seen this matchup already. They've already faced twice this season. Commanders won one, Eagles won one. So they split their games. And even last year, I think they split their games as well. So, I mean, it really is anyone's game. It really could go either way here. But big thing for me is the quarterback experience. I have a hard time betting on Jaden Daniels to carry his team to a Super Bowl as a rookie. I mean, he's done great things so far. It's just putting a lot of trust in someone very inexperienced. So maybe he can do it. Maybe he proves me wrong and surprise me. And I'd like to see that, honestly. I'd love to see a rookie QB in the Super Bowl. But until he shows me otherwise, I've got to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I agree with you as well. All right, moving on to the bigger game. I think we can all agree, that this is the game that most people would want to tune into if given the option. Excuse me, you can only have two game or only have one game. You're going
Hmm.
to choose Bills at Kansas City.
Yeah.
We've seen this year in and year out. Kansas City's always bested Buffalo in the playoffs. The only team to have beaten Kansas City in the playoffs, Joe Burrow, and then the Super Bowl, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers there. So, it's hard not to pick the Chiefs in this spot. I think their roster is a little bit better even than last year. I think they have better receivers with Xavier
Hmm.
Worthy. I think that they're in a better spot offensively than they were last year. And yet, man, it just doesn't feel like the pick. Maybe we're biased, maybe it's just the want to see Kansas City lose so bad. Want to see anyone else but them in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
that we're going to take Buffalo, or at least I'm going to take Buffalo here as an underdog. Yet again, Buffalo twice now in a row, underdogs in the playoffs. Can make some good money off of them. I really think that this is the year. It feels like they're the more complete team. They're playing really well. And, penalties aside, who knows what kind of wizardry penalties and officiating is going to occur in this game. Like, I mean, there were some really, really bad calls, I thought, in the Houston game where they're protecting Patrick Mahomes excessively to a detriment, to the point where it's almost dangerous, for the other players. And, they're
Yeah.
playing differently so that they can't, incur a penalty. And yet it's not pure football. And I really hope that they put out a better effort, in this game against the Bills here in terms of officiating crew. But all that aside, I think Buffalo is the better team. We saw it in the regular season. And, as much as I always say it's hard to be a team twice, especially, now going on the road at Kansas
Hmm.
City, I must still take the Bills.
Dude, I really like the pick. You know I love the
Oh,
pick.
I know you do.
It's it's a huge game for Josh Allen, bro. I mean, this is like
It's a legacy game.
third time's a charm, you know. He's got to get this one. I'm sick of seeing him lose to Mahomes in the playoffs. It feels like this has to be his time to shine. And yeah, I know the Chiefs are favored, but I mean, they have been on a slippery slope all season, bro. They've been struggling with games. They luck out and win by one score. I mean, even the Texans, who I felt were a far inferior team, you know, kept that game competitive until
Yeah.
basically the fourth quarter. Uh, I think that the Bills will snag this one. I want them to snatch it out of Mahomes' grubby little fingers because
Grubby.
he's not about to get another Lombardi trophy, bro. It just can't happen.
Yeah, no, 100%. Just it's not that I hate Patrick Mahomes. I really like respect him a lot, but I just want to see someone else in there. Even when
Yeah.
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were dominating in the playoffs, they still didn't just get there every year. Like it was not
Yeah.
like this. There were
Hmm.
other teams that made it. You had your Steelers get in, you
Hmm.
had, Colts get in with Peyton Manning, you had Broncos get in, you had a lot of our teams. You had the Ravens get in there. It wasn't always Tom Brady and the Patriots. And so I just feel like eventually, the law of averages will kick in for the Chiefs too, and it's not always going to be them in the Super Bowl, but they're special. They have a certain trait that clearly no one else has, and that is just situationally they are elite. Here in the playoffs, they save things. I think Travis Kelce literally
Hmm.
just regular season game, like whatever, I'm not gonna try hard. I'm just gonna play it like whatever, don't really care.
Yeah,
And
very
then the
chill about it
playoffs, he
all.
just is an absolute animal. I mean, he's
Yeah,
just saving his body at this point, which is smart. So I mean, yeah, it's really tough, but I mean, maybe it's more of a heart pick, but I
it
want the
is
Bills to
though.
win.
I mean, we just want to see Allen in the Super Bowl. I mean, he's been
Yeah.
so close so many times and we've never seen it yet. It's like this guy deserves the chance, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all, he's a Super Bowl like capable winning quarterback. Maybe you put
Yeah.
him in the NFC, like you put him on the Rams team that won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, they
Hmm.
easily would have won the Super Bowl. I mean, Matt Stafford threw two interceptions in that game and still won. I think Josh Allen would elevate so many other teams. He's just got this roadblock in the AFC, and everyone does.
Yeah.
And it's just the Chiefs. So very excited for it. I'll be in Spain. In fact, it probably will be very, time difficult for me to watch this
Yeah,
game.
like
I might
2
wake
a.m. for
up
you.
that's gonna be brutal. I might wake up and this game will be over. And it's crazy. You go to bed and then you wake up and how's my day going to go? Is it gonna go shitty if the Chiefs have won, or is it gonna go well because the Bills won? It's
Well,
all
you got your
contingent.
emotional hedge bet though. So like you're gonna bet on the
Yeah,
Chiefs, you're gonna make some coin if they do win. Otherwise, they'll be
absolutely.
celebrating the Bills. So your day
Yep.
should be good either way.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how much I bet. There's a threshold there for sure. We'll see.
Yeah,
I might have to
that's
add some
true.
more to my emotional hedge bet.
Yeah.
But anyways, like I did last week, I'm just gonna pick all the over-unders, all the spreads. I'm gonna take the unders in both games. They're both at 47 and a half. This is playoff football. And while I struggled to pick the over-under, I picked the over in the Houston Kansas City game. It goes under by a few points. I take the under in Washington Detroit. It goes over. Maybe I'm just stupid. One's indoors, one's outdoors. I probably should have switched those. But 55 and a half is like a college. I mean, that literally did look like a college game. That looked like
Hmm.
Baylor versus TCU, where it's like a
Yeah.
shootout, but one team's like two possessions down.
Right.
And then the only one I got was the over in the Rams Philadelphia game, because then the under in the
Hmm.
Baltimore Buffalo game hit by a half a point. So some tough betting last week, but hopefully, this week will be better, although there's only four potential avenues for success here. Philadelphia -5.5, Buffalo +2. There we go.
So you think Buffalo will cover the spread, but you're not going to bet them on the money line.
Oh, I'll take them on the money line. Yeah, I'll
All
add
right,
that in
good,
there.
good,
No,
good. Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
wasn't
Samesies.
just wasn't thinking properly. But yes,
Yeah, that's my best
100%.
bet of the week as well. It's up to plus 110 money line, so a little bit higher even than the odds of plus 100 against the Ravens last week. I mean, honestly, if the Chiefs were facing the Ravens, I think I would have taken the Ravens to win that game. And now we just saw the
hmm
Bills get past the Ravens. I'm ready for the Bills to get past the Chiefs here, so I'm putting stock in Buffalo money line.
No, I agree, but the transitive property, in my opinion, just doesn't work out. I mean, the Chiefs got voodoo
Yeah,
black magic, on
that
their
is
side.
true.
I mean, Buffalo could have ravaged through
Hmm.
all 30 teams, just ravaged through them, get beat by the Chiefs, no matter where it is. They just got that it factor, that X
Yeah,
factor, that
it's
ref factor, as
yeah.
much as I hate to say it, but
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
the
know.
magic beyond the sorcerer's control, dude.
Yeah, I mean, even us, as very, talented and experienced veteran sorcerers, we cannot, foresee the outcome of this game, with all the Chiefs, really dark magic. I mean, we try and stay away from the dark arts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Clean magic.
Yeah, that's the way we like it.
Do we have any fan mail here or?
No fan mail this week.
Damn, I know tough games to pick. I'm sure, Jimmy will send his picks in like halftime at the Eagles Commanders game.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, great stuff. I'm excited for the weekend. I mean, like I said, I'll be in Spain, so I don't know how the viewing will go down for these games, but
Hmm.
certainly will be very interested to see the results of them.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to tune in for the Chiefs Bills game.
I'm curious though, so this first game will be on, late at night as well. Not, super late, not 2 a.m. late, but I'm curious to see like will Spanish bars actually have that on TV?
Mm.
Or like, I mean, I'm gonna probably guess no. Like that
Well, it's a
probably just won't be available. Or maybe it will. Because actually, did you hear this? The NFL announced that they're going to play a game in Madrid, Spain next year. It's going to be the Dolphins versus someone.
no way. I did not
Yeah.
hear that, but man, like it's hard. I feel like
I mean, I know
I
they're
guess
going to
it's
have a
not
lot
very
of
popular
soccer
there.
on. A lot of soccer is going to be on.
Yeah. Dang, bro, that's a tough question. I don't know. Would Spain bars? I mean, if they do, it's all going to be in Spanish. I guess you don't need to hear the commentators
No,
all that
yeah.
much, but
I mean, if we think about it from the opposite perspective, like there's a fair amount of soccer games you see on.
like if it's the World Cup or like the
Yeah.
games leading
I
up to the
mean,
World Cup, it'll be on here.
yeah, there's still some soccer, international soccer that we see played out.
Yeah.
You if unless they're contradicting with NFL or like a good baseball game or something, then it won't be
Hmm.
on. But if it's in the morning, which it usually is here, in the US, like you'll see some of those games. So I would hope so, but I wouldn't count on it if Madrid or Barcelona Football Club is also playing at the same
Yeah.
time. But yeah, either way, we'll be monitoring the results from my phone.
There you go. That's what you have to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys as always for listening. Enjoy the week ahead. The good thing about this is, we got 2 weeks for the Super Bowl, so I'll be back and, we'll have an episode before the Super Bowl.
Yes. Love that. Can't wait for it. Enjoy the slate.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys soon.